Hi everybody, it's Abby with Creative at Home, and I'm here to paint with you again. I hope that you have painted with me before, and if not, you purchased a kit from me. I'm glad to do this with you. So today's kit is for our lovebirds painting. Super cute, interesting, fun, simple painting of two little heartbirds on a branch. And we'll go ahead and get started for this. I'm going to go ahead and flip over my screen so that you can see our supplies for today. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'm excited to paint with you today. All right. All right, we are ready to go over supplies and get painting here. So I have my canvas board for this demo. I'm using an 11 by 14 canvas board. And I have the canvas in the horizontal, landscape as opposed to portrait. So we're going to go from there. As far as acrylic paint colors, I have yellow, blue, brown, black, white, and red. We're going to do all our work from those colors. I have my cup for water. I have a paper towel to rinse off my brushes or dab my brushes. And then, speaking of brushes, I have a 3/4 inch wash brush, and you can either use a sponge. This is going to be for the background mostly. And then my painting detail brushes, I have a 1/2 inch flat brush, a 1/4 inch flat brush here, and then a number 3 round brush here. So you'll have those. If you are using a kit from me, you have comparable brushes inside your kit for all of these things. If they're not exactly right, just use your best judgment. So I am going to get started by painting this. We're going to start in the background here. And this painting has that yellow sun, and then it radiates out into a red and or a pink and red color. So I'm going to start by painting a yellow with my wash brush, getting a yellow circle just kind of here in the center. Okay, and we're going to use I'm going to go ahead and wash this brush out, and then we're going to start just applying some white around that brush. I'm going to get this out a little bit more. Okay, we're going to start by taking some white paint and just blending that yellow so that there's not an edge, and keep having it come out like that. Alright, so we're blending that out, and then I'm going to start just grabbing some more white here. Then I'm going to start mixing in the red, okay? So we're going to want to have that be kind of a pinkish circle around this yellow in the center here. So just kind of going around in circular motions, and we can go ahead and blend that in. And if it gets too red for you, like I want it to be a little bit more white here, I'm gonna keep going out so that it starts to blend. And I think if I turn this light out, there we go, it might be a little easier for you to see. Lighting is hard for these videos. Alright, so I'm going to add some more red and just kind of blend in some more of that white until I get the color that I like. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working that out in these circular motions. To the edge here. Okay, I'm going to add some more white in here. I'm just going to get to the edge here. Alright, and we're just going to keep working out as far as we can until we get to the edge. Alright. And then once we get it all the way out, we'll make sure that the blending is the way we want it. Okay. And keep going with the red. Okay, so we've got it all the way covered. So I'm just gonna keep going in this circular motion, always the circular motion. Some more red there. And just start adding in. So what I'm going to do is actually rinse that red out of my brush. And I'm going to add some more white in because I want to blend the centerpiece a little bit better. So it's not as much of a clear line as it comes out here. So I'm going to grab some white and work on blending that out some. Okay. And then you can blend it in and blend it out. And then keep going. Until it goes out. And I don't know if I really want it to be red per se as just a really dark pink, so I'm gonna keep blending some of that white in. If you like the red, you go for it. I just feel like I want it to be a little pinker than red here. And it's not an exact piece, so now it's a little light in this corner, so I'm just gonna bring some more red into it until it darkens up. Back again. Okay. Spinning around a little bit. And you can kind of blend that back in. And then let's work on this side here. Okay, and then just kind of start blending this out again. Kind of thinking corners here for some. A little bit easier, I think. Okay, And then we do this last corner here, so we'll drop in some white. And then just make sure I don't see any hard lines of color. We want that color to kind of blend through here into the next color. Okay, so I feel like I'm in pretty good shape here. All right, and then we're going to take our very small detail brush and just add some circular lines around here to add some details and some accents. Okay. Just small amounts of paint that follow that circular motion. And just make it kind of just a little bit more detail. There we go. Okay. All right, so there is our background for this painting. We're going to go ahead and take a small break, a short break, to get this dry before we start painting the tree and those birds. So we'll pause the video. You guys can dry while I dry, and then you can resume when you come back and you're dry. So blow dryer does a great job at speeding things along if you want to keep things moving. So that's what I'm going to go do. We'll see you back here real quick. Okay, we're back and dry. Wonderful place to be. So we're going to start on our tree branches, okay? So we're going to have two tree branches, and one's going to come out this way and thin out and kind of go all the way across the canvas. And then we're going to have one that's going to fall down this way where our two little lovebirds are going to sit. Okay, so this is the tree branch, and this is kind of our hanging or sitting branch. Okay, so we're going to start, I want to start by making a tree color. So I'm going to take my brown, and I want to darken it up a little because it's a little reddish for me. So I'm going to bring just a little bit of black in. So black's going to go a long way in these colors. You can see how quickly that was just a little tiny bit of black, and how quickly it becomes really a chocolatey brown color, which is really pretty, but you have to be just very light-handed with black when you're adding it to different colors, because it goes quick. And then it's hard to get it back. Alright, so I have kind of a darker brown, and I'm actually going to use both shades as we move out here. So, uh-oh, what happened here? Alright, so I don't know what happened there. I must have had something underneath it. So we'll make sure my branch goes over that little spot when I paint. Okay, so I'm going to start with the supporting branch, or this big tree branch that's going to come out of here. Okay, so it's going to start, I'm just going to kind of sketch it first. It's going to start down here, and just kind of come up pretty quickly. Okay, and then it's going to be pretty wide here, and it's going to come around about like that. Okay, so that's going to be kind of the top piece, and then we'll use this bottom piece to kind of thin it. All the way out, and then so that's our main brush or branch, and then you can have something come out here, and I'm just kind of sketching at this point stuff, and I'll make it you know, work it in here. So then here's our sitting branch, and it's going to come out there. Okay, so there's kind of the initial sketching of this tree branch. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and forth between this bigger brush to paint in these sections, and then start using this brush to add some more branches that are coming off of it, and add some of those details, because we want it to kind of sketch off. And okay, so we'll just kind of add one coming off here as well, and so we've got some of that coming out. And then we can also bring in our little detail brush. So I'm going to rinse that out really well. And kind of roll it so you get a really nice tip on that brush, okay? And we're going to dip it, and then when I am doing detail work, which we'll get into more as we're getting finished, but I just want to kind of demonstrate, I'm just going to small amounts of paint and just kind of sketch some of that out. So we're going to kind of rotate here between the three brush sizes and just kind of see where it gets us. So I'm also going to add in some highlights to lighten up certain sections like this. Okay. Again, it's not going to be exactly like mine, and it's not going to be perfect, and it shouldn't be, because trees are not exact, they're not symmetrical, they're not perfectly straight, and you just have to kind of be okay with that, and look at it as character of your tree, and just say, well, that branch was meant to be there, and just kind of roll with it. So I'll just kind of build some of these little branches off of this tree as well. Okay. And then I'll probably have some come off down here. Just kind of sketching these out. And then you can come in and add some of those little tiny branches off of all of these thicker ones. Just kind of keep adding it where it makes sense and where it speaks to you and your creativity. Okay. Alright, so I feel like I might be pretty happy with the amount of tree branches I have. I'm going to go ahead and fill this not brush. I'm going to use my brush to fill in this branch. And then kind of see where I am. So this is the branch that the birds are going to be on here. Okay. All right. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do, and I'm going to go back through and fill in all of the branches again here. I'm just going to give them a chance to dry before we get into these birds. And what I may do before we get too far into these birds too is I think I want to add some lighter brown highlights on some of these branches because I just feel like it. Make this tree look a little bit more realistic. Okay. So, especially on some of these bigger branches. Okay, let's try to give this a go again. To match the rest. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this just regular brown and just add some highlights in here. Okay. Okay. So branch still feels like it's needs a little love. All right. So we'll come back to that tree a little bit and we'll keep working on him. But we're also going to start on these love birds. Okay, so what we're going for is a little bit of a lighter blue than we have here, kind of like a cornflower blue is the blue I would like to go for. So I'm gonna scoot some of this over, and then I'm just gonna start picking up some white. Let's see where we head. Okay, so I want it to be lighter than that. This looks pretty good. Maybe just a bit lighter. Teeny bit. When I first started painting, I was always amazed at how that little bit of paint can make that much difference in the color. Like, that was the hardest part for me when I first really started getting into this, is learning how to mix colors. The more I do it, the easier it becomes to see how they work, but it's just, I had to make a lot of mistakes, and that's just anything, is really trial and error and trying to get your best color. So that's our blue that I think I'm going to go with here. And we're going to have two little birds, just silhouettes of birds that are going to sit there. And we're going to use our smallest round, or the small round brush, to start drawing these guys. And then we'll fill them in. So we're going to use this brush to draw the head of one of the birds. And we're going to put one here about halfway across our sitting branch, right in this little section here. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the head going. And then I am going to paint underneath the head kind of a heart-shaped body. There we go. So there is the gist of our first love bird. Okay, and then I'm going to paint the second one slightly larger and a little higher. Same thing, we're going to have this heart overlap. And come down a little. Okay, so there's the outline of our birds. So we're gonna paint them in, and with that blue, and then we're gonna add some highlights to them. Okay. So this guy is gonna be in the forefront of the painting. So when we go to highlight, we'll paint his highlights, or this larger bird's highlights, on top of the smaller bird. Okay. I love this painting because it's so simple and cute, but the colors are just really fun. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright, so now I'm going to add a little bit of white to the larger bird in his head here. Just to highlight this one. And then gonna kind of, so when I use white to highlight, I'm gonna highlight just down this side here, and it's very small amounts of paint. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some more to fill in this guy a little bit. Make sure they're all filled in here. Alright, and then we'll add some more white. Okay. Just keep kind of highlighting this side. And if it gets too white, you can just come back over it with. Like that. Okay. All right. So there are the birds. Aren't they cute? All right. So we have one step left, is just to highlight. We're going to continue to use this and some of that white paint to highlight the tree. We're just going to come back to the tree now that it's fully dry. And this is small amounts of paint, okay? So we're going to get this out of the way a little bit. We're just going to start highlighting parts of the tree, and what this does is it makes it, helps make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Okay, and kind of pop out a little bit more. But this is quick strokes, light strokes, and not a lot of paint. Okay, and if you don't like some of the highlighting you've done, you can always go back over it. So I feel like that's a little, I don't really like the way that looks. So I can come back with that brown and kind of blend it a little bit more, because that brown paint's kind of dried already. So if you kind of blend it in, looks a little bit less. Alright, so kind of keep going through here. Just keep highlighting. Make it look, sometimes it's easier if you rotate. That. Okay. Just keep getting them in there. Okay. Just kind of there we go. All right, so when you're finished with your tree and highlighting your tree and finished highlighting your birds, if there's no other places you want to highlight, I'm going to call this one done. This is the painting that we have. These are our lovebirds, and it's a great fun. One, it's great for families, and it's really cute. I just love these birds, and it's so simple and it's little self. So I wanted to thank you for watching the video and painting with me. I'm going to sign my artwork here, and hope you do too. So just want to say thanks for painting. If you want to, I hope you do, share your artwork at Creative at Home Art, hashtag Creative at Home Art on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also follow me in both of those places. You're watching this video on YouTube, so you're welcome to subscribe to my channel. There's all kinds of different ways to interact with me. And if you're looking for specifics, you can reach out to my website at creativeathomeart.com. Thanks for painting with me, and I hope I get to paint with you again sometime. Have a great evening.